standing against a very good Argentina side who, in that first half, tested the team, and the England players stood up to that test. And I thought it was a brilliant match. It wasn't a classic flowing rugby match, but I thought it was a brilliant match, a test match rugby with two teams that really went at each other. We saw their backs against the wall, and the players fought through it.
And can you just talk us through the atmosphere at half-time and where that 9-minute barrage at the start of the second half came from?
I'll come to that. I'll say the atmosphere at the start of the game, where I thought the Argentinian fans were absolutely outstanding. They're jumping up and down in the stands. The stand itself felt like it was shaking with the supporters, and seeing that, and I think that's the for me as a coach, it's brilliant to come here and coach in atmospheres like that. I'm sure for the players, they love playing in those kind of atmospheres. We look forward to it next week. Regarding the half time and afterwards, when I walked in at half time, the players were already in there. They were incredibly calm and incredibly clear about what needed to be done. So from a coaching perspective, it's very straightforward there. The players basically managed that bit and came out the second half and took the opportunity as well.
George, you said it would be another day in the office, your 100th camp. Can you just maybe reflect on how normal a day that was?
Well, it was an enjoyable one. I think, like Steve said, it was a proper test match. Obviously under a fair amount of pressure that first half. Against a great team like Argentina, you've got to ride that pressure sometimes. And I thought there were some big players holding the ball up a couple of times over the line to defend our try line, which we knew would be big. And sticking in it. We always speak about staying in the fight, and it's the right time to do so. And we felt that, going in at half time 3-0, considering we're probably in our own half, the large parts of that first half was positive. That's why we felt at half time that if we could get some good field position and some attacking opportunities, we could hopefully create some try scoring opportunities, and we managed to do that. So I really enjoyed the game. I really enjoyed playing in this team. I thought the lads really went at it, and it's really enjoyable when we do that.
We were led to believe that you had quite an emotional night last night with a number of videos, Lampard, Terry, Prime Minister, former Prime Minister. Can you just kind of just talk about that a little bit?
Jamie did a great job. Jamie George, I think he'd be one of his main strengths. Jamie's bringing the team together and making sure that things are done right. I couldn't ask for anything better for what he put together last night, not just for me, but for the new caps as well, to make it special, to make it memorable. So yeah, I had a nice few messages of family first and foremost, and a few people who've achieved unbelievable things in their own sporting careers as well. So it was a great night, but again, we all said last night that we want to remember this achievement. First cap or 100th cap was a win. We all said that, so to do that today was the most important thing.
George, it seems like you quite enjoy dropping goals against Argentina, especially when England have 14. There are plenty of parallels with 2023 tonight and that night in Marseille.
Yeah, it's not just Argentina. Look, we feel like test match rugby, you've got to score in many ways. You've got to try and get the scoreboard taking over, you've got to try and get scoreboard pressure. Drop goals, one of the ways to do that. We've just been in our own half for a large period, and we felt that coming away with something the first time in the opposition 22 would be big. So that was the decision there. And then, as you saw in the second half, we scored points for the goals.
Steve, just in terms of the next week, win tonight sort of in a way takes the pressure off a little bit. Will you be tempted to perhaps give guys on tour who haven't played tonight more of a run out next week, or how is that going to work?
I'll be around selection for next week. Clearly we're getting a medical report. We took a couple of knocks and bangs. I don't know whether any are going to affect next week as yet. I'll know more tomorrow. So that might play a part. I'll pick a team I think it's the right team to get the result we want next weekend. We should go into every game England aimed to win it. And in that game, whilst the scoreboard at the end showed a gap, there was not much in that game. As George talked about, these are very fine margins. We managed to hold a couple of balls up over the line in that first half, and the score at half time was 3-0 to us. It could have been very different, and that end scoring could have been very different. So there really wasn't much in that, and I expect next week to be another fierce test match in another brilliant ground in San Juan. What I'd also say is that the England team improves. If you look at the England team through campaigns, as they come together and the players get aligned, the players get more conditioned to how we want to play, the team improve. So I expect this week we move forward and we improve. That's my expectation right until the very end of this series of games.
Hello, congratulations for the victory. Mariano Vaca from Termómetro Deportivo. The questions go for George. Is this match so special, not of the 100 Cups, because of the Argentina team and all the atmosphere, because it was too heavy for you and for all the team? And the other question goes for Steve. How important is George from this team and the group? Thanks.
Yeah, well, first I'd like to say every time I've had the opportunity to play in Argentina, the atmosphere has been absolutely incredible. It's a different atmosphere for us as English players because we're used to something different back home where there's not so much jumping up and down and singing throughout the game, and to play in an atmosphere like that is incredible for us players, so we love it. And then obviously when you're playing an unbelievable team like Argentina away from home, you can only but be up for the challenge and enjoy it, try and give your best out there on the field. And we said since joining up together maybe 3-4 weeks ago that 3 or 4 weeks preparation for this game has got to be as good as it can be to put us in a position to try and win this game today, and it'll be the same next week, because we know the challenge is in front of us there. So the most important thing was the team performance, the team result. It will be no different next week.
I didn't think George would be here because I thought he'd be in Australia with the Lions, and I feel very fortunate that he is here. I feel very fortunate as a coach to have worked with George when I was here as assistant coach and then head coach with Leicester Tigers, and I feel very lucky to work with him and to learn from him, because there's not very few people in the world know rugby as well as the man next to me, and I truly believe that the best players are the best coaches, and this guy really is one of the best players.
Steve, George, first of all, congratulations for the victory. In the first half of the game, it was difficult for the team to break the Argentine defense, but in the second half, you go all the way with the offense and broke the defense and scored the first try in the first 3 minutes. You said minutes ago that the team was very calm at the halftime. Do you change some tactics, or what do you say to the team to go with that offense all the way in the second time? Thanks.
Yeah, look, there was a few tweaks at half time. We got some really good messages and direction off the coaches at half time to change a couple of things tactically, which we felt would win us field position to try and get us scoring opportunities. I think the 1 or 2 attacking opportunities we had first half, we looked pretty dangerous, we felt dangerous, but we just didn't create enough of them because discipline meant that we was in our own half too much. And we probably didn't get out of our own half through our kicking game well enough in the first half as well. So a few things tactically in terms of what we did when we were playing and kicking allowed us to have some more attacking opportunities second half.
Hello, Brian Wilson for Rugby Champagne. Congratulations for the win for Steve. The defense was perfect in the first half because Argentina didn't score points. I think one of the keys was that subject. And for George, you reached the 96 points, the historic mark in this match, in this special match. What does it mean for you? Thank you.
I thought the defence was really strong. I think the way we attacked also helped the defence, because if you attack well, It makes your defence easier. If you attack ball, you turn over loose ball against Argentina, they are very, very dangerous. And we certainly saw that in the second half. Next week's a different game. This was a 65-metre wide pitch, and I'm sure that Argentina next week will be wanting to play more of their phase attack. They'll be wanting to play more phases, more and use more of that width. So we'll be preparing accordingly this week.
Okay, so sorry. After this one, we'll go Joe. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. In terms of points scored, I just see it as part of my job. I think when the boys are putting in so much effort and doing some great things on the field to put us in opportunities to score tries or win penalties or kick drop goals, the least I can do is try and make sure I kick them, basically, because that's what we're there to do in terms of keeping the scoreboard ticking over. I never see it as an individual thing. It's all about the team. It's all about making sure we do the right thing for the team, and the team wins at the end of the day.
Hi George, I know your dad and your brother came over. I just wanted to know if you had a chance to see them yet, and how much will you get to enjoy the occasion tonight, or is it straight into next week?
Yeah, I saw them when they came in the change room after. The guys are great at making it a memorable event. To have your family in there, to share that moment with them is pretty special, as well as all the teammates and the coaches and the staff. And yeah, head of performance Phil Morrow just spoke in the change room, actually saying that we've been competing really hard in training, and we've been trying to make sure our preparation is as good as it can be, but tonight's the night to enjoy it and try and connect a bit more. So we'll make sure that we spend some time together tonight, which is obviously away from the field, but it's just as important to do that. And then tomorrow we'll get our heads back on, because we understand the challenge next week is going to be a step up.
Well, George, congrats on your century. How did you beat this special one, and how did away from home, but with a final win? How did you live this match?
Yeah, like I said, I think even though it was my 100th game for England today, the most important thing, and always the most important thing, is the team winning. So in the week and leading up to the game, it was about how we could prepare and how I could lead the team, how I could get my own performance where it needs to be to make sure we win. And that will always be my mindset, because the most important thing at the end of the day, the memories that you remember at the end of your career, is when you win, especially for England, with your teammates, with the coaches, with the group of staff in there, because that's who opinions I respect the most.
Thank you so much. Thanks everyone.